Hello everyone and welcome back to another Division 2 video. I'm excited to share this build with you guys as it's a really cool one, probably the coolest you've ever seen. I'm not claiming it's the best in the world, but it's really cool. This build uses a very unused and forgotten chess piece. It also uses a very unused and forgotten source of utility. Because of how fun and amazing this build is, I don't want to use up any more time in the intro. Let's talk more about this chess piece that was forgotten, the Collector. The Collector is an exotic chess piece that you can get anywhere in the game, and it comes with weapon damage, critical hit chance, and critical hit damage as its rolls. We're going to be wanting to use this because of its very special talent, Hoarder. Hoarder allows us to carry 3 more grenades and improves our grenade radius by 50%. This is massive. In addition to this, we basically have an infinite source of grenades because every 30 seconds, if we have less than 2 grenades, we will regenerate a grenade. Because we're using flash grenades and we have that bonus 50% grenade radius, it is virtually impossible for your targets to escape the blast radius of your flashbangs. I figured since we're using a build that focuses primarily on grenades, we should use a weapon like the Lefty. The Lefty is the name variant of the ACS-12 automatic shotgun. Shotguns have the benefit of always having damage to armor as its secondary attribute, and most would always tell you to be using damage to targets out of cover, but I would personally roll rate of fire on any ACS-12 that I'm using with a striker build, and this is because that's a 5% bonus, and this is because you want to get those stacks as fast as you possibly can, as the shotgun is not your primary source of damage. But the Lefty will definitely give you a huge boost in damage, and that's because of its talent, Perfect Sledgehammer. Any of your targets that are blinded by your flashbang grenade are going to take 20% more damage to their armor, and they will be hit with a movement speed reduction of 30%. This is going to last for 10 seconds. So yes, as you can already see, using this build is going to turn the Division 2 into a human form of shooting fish in a barrel. Since we're already using an ACS-12, we might as well use Striker to get extra damage. Our 4 pieces of Striker are going to be the mask, gloves, holster, and knee pads. What Striker is going to give us for our 2 and 3 piece gear set bonus is 15% weapon handling and a 15% increase to our rate of fire. For our 4 piece gear set bonus, we're going to be getting an increase of weapon damage up to 65%. This is going to occur whenever we get weapon hits. This is going to increase our damage by 0.65% every time we land a hit up to 100 stacks, thus giving us our 65% weapon damage increase. The beautiful thing about using the Lefty is each pellet landed counts as a shot hit. So we can get a ton of stacks really fast right off the bat before we're even engaging the targets with our assault rifle. Before we start talking about the assault rifle though, I'd like to cover the backpack that's going to be our one piece of Grupo. Our Grupo backpack is going to give us a 13% critical hit damage increase for the 1-piece brand set bonus. And like every other piece of this build, we're going to be covering it with critical hit chance and critical hit damage. Now for the talent, we're going to be using Vigilance. Vigilance will increase our weapon damage by 25% as long as we don't take hits. This is going to be pretty easy considering that all of our enemies are going to be blinded by flashbang grenades. You could use Unstoppable Force, but for me personally, I prefer using Vigilance because you always start with the damage, whereas with Unstoppable Force, you always start from 0. For anyone who doesn't know, Unstoppable Force works by giving you a stack of 5% weapon damage every time you get a kill up to 5 stacks, but it only lasts for 15 seconds. So if you're in a mission scenario, you're going to be engaging and disengaging in combat multiple times, and that's really the situation you should be using flashbang grenades in. And what that means for using Unstoppable Force is you're starting over from 0 stacks over and over and over and over again. This greatly reduces its effectiveness in combat, whereas with Vigilance you always have that 25% damage increase to start with. And now my friends, let's go back and look at that assault rifle that I was talking about before. The assault rifle that I've decided to use is the Lexington, named AR. The only thing special about the Lexington is it has a higher base damage for other firearms that fire at the same silic rate that it does. That being said, I would like to remind you guys that I don't use any expertise, so you could use a Police M4 and get more damage than what I get. Now let's talk about the talents. First we have Measured. This is going to give you a bonus 25% rate of fire at the cost of 25% weapon damage for the top half of the magazine. And for the bottom half of the magazine, it's going to reduce your fire rate by 18%, but then in turn give you 30% increased weapon damage. And next, we're going to be using the fan favorite, of course, Killer. Killer will increase your critical hit damage by 70% whenever you kill an enemy with a critical hit. As devastating as this bonus is, it only lasts for 10 seconds. But on the brighter side of it, you can chain kills back to back and maintain that damage. This build is taken to the next level by the specialization, Sharpshooter. There are 4 distinct advantages to using the Sharpshooter specialization. First is breath control. This is going to increase our weapon stability by 15%. Second, My Home is My Castle. This is going to give you bonus armor whenever you're in cover. Third is the Sharpshooter Tactical Link. This is going to give all your group members that are closer to enemies than you 10% headshot damage. And last, but not the least, flashbang grenades. And now for our stat review. We have 6 damage cores, 4 critical hit chance attributes, 4 critical hit damage attributes, 1 critical hit chance mod, and 2 critical hit damage mods. For the second part of our stat review, it's going to be overviewing the Lexington. We have 55% critical hit chance, 130% critical hit damage, 10% to damage targets out of cover, and 75% headshot damage. Thank you guys so very much for checking out yet another Division 2 video. I'm constantly trying to find ways to make the builds and my videos better, so please let me know down in the comments below if you see any way I can do that. My Xbox clan, the Bare Minimums, is always looking for more people if you're willing to join. Just a reminder that there will be more footage after the commentary is done if you're interested in seeing more of what this build can do. And with that, I think we've drawn to the conclusion of this video. I thank you guys very much again for checking it out. And as always, I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!
survive this! Oh no!
Immediate medical assistance needed. Agent vital signs 0.